Thank you, Ruth Anna. Always appreciate your warm welcome, and thank you, everyone, for being on the call tonight. It is an exciting call because there is an awful lot of excitement brewing up at Basic Reset. Our phones have been really ringing off the wall. The email is getting flooded with inquiries and people excited. And one of the reasons they're excited is because, as you know, CBD has been around for a while now. And there are a lot of products out there, a lot of different products. And, of course, there are a lot of companies out there claiming that they have the best. And they point to different reasons why they think they have the best. Well, I spent a year and a half looking at different suppliers. I'd known about CBD for years before that, but of course it wasn't really legal to sell in all 50 states. And I wanted to have the best, so I didn't just dive into this and make a deal with the first supplier I could find. No, I interviewed suppliers, multiple suppliers over the past year and a half. And there were times I would say to Kim, I want to get into the CBD market, and then I would come back and be frustrated, and I'd say, I don't think we're going to be able to get into it because I can't find the best supplier. And then I would come back and I'd say, you know, this is really starting to take off. I think we need to get into it. And then I would come back and say, I don't think we're going to get into it because I can't find the best supplier. This was going back and forth for a year and a half or a little more. And finally, through a very strange set of circumstances, I found a company that convinced me beyond a shadow of a doubt that they had the best product. Now, there are a lot of different ways to determine what is the best product. And I'm going to be brief because I want to get right into the testimonials of people who have sampled what we're going to have in stock hopefully by the end of next week. Maybe sooner, but hopefully no later than the end of next week. But I had a conversation with a doctor representing another CBD supplier. And at the end of the conversation, I said, well, I think I'm going to stick with the supplier that I have. And she was wondering what kind of product I had. And I said, well, it's a full-spectrum product, and it's a very good product. And she said, well, we have one that's 1,500 milligrams. And I said, oh, great. I said, I have one that's 2,400 milligrams. And she said, well, yeah, if you put it in a bigger bottle. And I said, no, this is a 1-ounce bottle. She said, that's impossible. She said, it must not be full spectrum. They've added isolate to it, which is where they extract only CBD, leaving behind all of the other components that help the CBD work better. And some companies will extract just CBD and then put it into their full spectrum to raise that number. She said, it most certainly has isolate in it. And I said, no, it doesn't. She said, well, nobody's been able to achieve that. And that was the key for me. Not only was this the only company that we found that had a 2,400 full spectrum, true full spectrum, but they told me another very interesting story. They said they knew that this market was coming decades ago. And so they started developing seeds. When I say developing seeds, they would take a plant and they would have, let's say, 2 different plants, and one of them produced more of the extract, the different CBD components and terpenes and the chlorophyll. They would measure that, and then they would crossbreed that with another plant, and they kept doing that over and over and over now for more than 20 years. And that is what brought this plant that they're using today. So my point of all that is to say we've gone beyond what it says on the label. we've gone beyond what was tested in the bottle. We wanted to know about the seed, and that was very enlightening. Therein lies the key. It's the seed. That's where you're going to start. You get the plant from the seed. You get the flowers from the plant. But it all starts with the seed. We think we have the best seeds out there. Not us personally, of course, but our grower. And then when you look at how people extract it, one of the things that people complain about with CBD, if it has a strong taste, they're not too excited about it. So they flavored it. But another thing that they did to make the flavor even better was they took out the chlorophyll. Well, chlorophyll is one of those ingredients, one of those nutrients that is just packed with all of these, it activates all of these different systems in your body. Chlorophyll is the green part that you see in a plant. In the leaves, they are exposed to the sun, and they actually manufacture chlorophyll. So chlorophyll is one of those vital components that you get when you eat a green salad. It's just as important as vitamin A or vitamin B or vitamin C. It's just as important. But it has a strong taste, so a lot of companies filter that out or whatever the process is to get rid of it. Well, the company we're working with decided that there were too many benefits to worry about that. So, having said that, this is true full spectrum.